Hello, YouTube. Let's go live on Instagram. How are we going? All right, let's get this set up. Hello, Instagram. All right, we're live. Who am I speaking to? I think I'll speak to Instagram. How are we going? Happy Sunday. I'm about to go out on a bit of a triple day to have a fun day, but I was just in the middle of writing a post. I think I'm going to either post this later or tomorrow. And I was just I'm discussing the difference between doing versus being. I think sometimes whether you can apply this to life, relationships, business, career, money, you can apply this to all areas. So it doesn't matter. But something we need to get better at tapping into when we are doing the inner work is actually realizing when we are in a foundation of just doing things versus actually being. And I'm going to explain this. And a lot of this is down to nervous system work. So my methodology, the Woman Mastery methodology, there are 3 phases: subconscious reprogramming, identity shifting, and regulating to a new capacity. So I'm going to go a little bit in between all of them, but mainly phase number 3, which is regulating to a new capacity. A lot of the time, what I see when women come and work with me is they have this bare minimum mindset. And I say this with so much love because I've been there time and time again. I'm sure I will be there again in the future. But the bare minimum mindset is when you are ticking off things that give you a dopamine hit, that give you that hit of satisfaction and the hit of like, oh, okay, I'm doing something. And then you get to the end of the day, you're laying in bed and you start to freak out because you're like, okay, nothing really got done today. Have you ever had those moments where it feels like you're really, really busy, you're doing all of the things, and then you're like, wait a second, what have I actually achieved? Where have I actually moved the needle? And then what starts to happen, if we look at the compound effect and the law of compensation, is those same movements, let's say in 90 days, you're going to feel like you're working really, really hard and you're doing all of the right things, because when you tick them off, and I'll go into some examples, when you tick them off, you get the dopamine hit. So you kind of feel like you're doing it. And we're going all these months, right? We get to 90 days and we look back, we go, I'm exhausted, I've been doing all this stuff, but why haven't my results changed? Or they've changed a small amount and it's not adding up. It's like, okay, the amount of work I put in, the work of doing, it's not adding up to the results I'm currently getting. And I see this a lot with the women I work with, whether it's in business, whether it's about designing their life. And in fact, I'll be focusing on this a lot inside of Become the CEO 12-week mastermind. So it's for female entrepreneurs wanting to consistently scale between 10K to 30K months. We start Monday. And if you want to learn more about that, just send me a DM and we can have a chat. But I'm super excited because this is something I see in business owners all the time, is they tick off the bare minimum. They feel like they're doing, they feel like they're moving the needle. But when you actually sit down and look at their results, and I've been doing the onboarding for the women and Become the CEO. And by the way, if you join, even if it's today, you still get an onboarding. And the biggest thing that I can see, and this is kind of what's inspired this post I'm writing and this live, the biggest thing I see is they're just doing. They're not actually being. They're not regulating to a brand new capacity. And so they're like, they can't see their own blind spots. And that's the point of hiring a mentor, right? Is to get shown your blind spots. And so the first thing I want you to do before we go into the being is, number 1, the things you are doing. What is the bare minimum mindset? What is just getting you by, but what is also just getting you your unconscious standard of success? So every single month, if we're looking at a month by month basis, you're achieving the same income, you're achieving the same satisfaction in your relationships, you're achieving the exact same results. Have a look at that and have a look. You really want to strip it back to what you were doing on a daily basis. Now, a bare minimum thing is what you're so used to doing already, and it's getting the results that you're already at. So for example, in business owners, they say, well, I showed up on stories, I posted a reel, and I wrote an email. And they've been doing that for the past 6 to 12 months. That's their bare minimum. That's their unconscious success level. Their subconscious mind knows what to expect when they do those things. And the subconscious mind's job is to keep us safe. And so if it can predict what we're about to achieve and the results, it feels safe. So that's part of the reason why we go into this bare minimum and we do instead of being. So for you, I want you to actually start to look at, what are the things that I am doing in my business, my life, relationships, finance, my career, that are just ticking off the bare minimum and just doing the things that I've always done. Being, and actually I might read to you exactly what I wrote in my post, because I think it's really important to read this verbatim. Let me just get it up. As I said, this post will be posted in a day or two. Okay, no amount of doing will lead to the breakthrough you crave. If deep down you're still worried about what Sally from high school will say, or afraid that if you fail, everyone will see you as a fraud, that's why you keep second guessing every move, avoiding investing in yourself, and holding yourself back from taking the action that really matters. And so and this is what's connected to the doing the bare minimum mindset, is like, what are your actual fears about being? Being is moving into a different state of yourself to achieve results you haven't achieved before. So if you're watching this, I know that you're success driven, you're a high achiever, you have things in life and business or career that you want to achieve, the things that are on your vision board, the things that you journal about. And unless you address these subconscious fears, and this is the thing, this is like the saying, fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it isn't always like, yes, I get it to a degree. And I think I wrote something about this the other day. I get it to a degree. Yes, you want to kind of like help yourself by stepping into this mode of like, okay, I'm this 7-figure entrepreneur, or, you know, I am now becoming and getting this big promotion in work, or, you know, I have $50,000 in my savings, like whatever it is. Yes, fake it till you make it, but also that's the conscious part. You need to, and this is what all of my work is and all of my containers. And by the way, if you are not a female entrepreneur, but you're like, this is resonating, highly recommend commenting Femme. I can send you the link to sign up to the self-paced program, the Femme Club. The Femme Club was my signature program for 2.5 years. Over 200 women have taken it. It's really, if you are self-sabotaging, you want to eliminate those destructive habits and create a path of clarity in your life and direction, highly recommend getting into that self-paced program. But what people don't understand is fake it till you make it works to a degree if you are addressing the subconscious fears. So you need to understand, why do I keep doing? Why do I keep the bare minimum mindset? What's actually the fears? Am I afraid that if I show up in a different way on social media, my friends are going to say something? Or what if I go live for a training and no one shows up? What are the things that are coming up? What are the fears? Then we can start to see, all right, those are the things that are actually going to move the needle. Those are the things, and we always need to check in. Is this thing inspiring me? Do I actually want to do this thing? Or is it more of a like, I have to? Because that's never a good energy. And then we can start to work through those fears. And that's specifically what I do with my Woman Mastery methodology. But I just really wanted to bring this to your attention, especially as we're coming into a brand new week. Happy CEO Monday for tomorrow. Sure, I'll go live again, but it's just about recognizing, okay, am I doing the same thing, getting the same results? What are the fears that are attached to wanting the brand new result? And really taking your time to develop and understand that and to integrate brand new behaviors and ways of thinking. And it takes time. You can't just go, okay, yeah, I'm not actually doing more in my business because I am comfortable, plus I'm scared that my friends from high school are going to say something. That's great. Recognition is key. But then it's like, all right, what would that scary step be? So let's just say your bare minimum business is ticking off going on your stories and posting a reel, right? Maybe the scary thing for you is to actually go live. Maybe the scary thing for you is to actually host a workshop. Maybe the scary thing for you is to talk on your stories, not just post Canva slides, right? Let's do another example in life. Maybe in your health, you are keeping yourself, you're sabotaging your gym results and going to the gym and getting into a good routine because you're actually afraid of failing. You're actually afraid that you're going to set these high expectations and you're going to fail. So then the brain goes, okay, let's just sabotage. So every time you start to feel really, really good, you don't want to get too good because you might fail. So let's sabotage by putting in your head, have 3 rest days, go eat shit, like all of that. So again, to break it down super simply, we really need to recognize, where are we at with the doing the bare minimum mindset? What is the thing that we wish to achieve? So take it from, here is where I am. Be very honest with yourself. What I want to achieve is X amount of money in my business, or I want to get this type of career, or I want to have this in my bank account, or I want to achieve buying a new car or a new house or attract a new relationship. What is the thing? Get super, super highly specific. And then the gap here is understanding the fear that isn't bridging that. So every time you go to, I like to think in visuals. I'm a very visual person. So every time you go to think visually what it is, just imagine it's this bridge. And the moment you start to cross it, there's like all this debris and trees falling over the bridge. And unless you clear that, the subconscious fears, you will never get to the new state. It will always feel the bare minimum mindset is like, I'm getting to this bridge and I'm clearing the trees. And you feel like you made a little bit of progress. And then you look back in 6 months and you're in the exact same spot. Everything is a choice. I had this conversation with a client the other day. Everything is a choice. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. It's one of the most simplest, well-known sayings there is, but it's so, so true. But guess what? Change is hard. Change is dysregulating. Something that I teach my clients is not to expect just a comment on YouTube. Yeah, absolutely. Change is hard. Change is hard. It's something for you to understand that it's not the moment you decide to cross over the bridge and face your fears that all of a sudden you feel really, really good and happy. It's like recognizing in your body it's scary. What are not just the fears, but what are the feelings associated? What are the physical symptoms? Do you get nauseous? Do you start to get headaches? Do you get sweaty palms? Do you start to get like flushed in your cheeks? What are the symptoms that you are actually feeling? And so all of this is a big workshop, and I'm going to be working on this inside Become the CEO. We start tomorrow. If you want to know more details, link in bio, or just send me a DM with CEO. If you're not a female entrepreneur, but you're resonating with this and you really want to stop your self-sabotaging behaviors and create a clear path of direction in your life, the Femme Club Self-Paced program is for you. Again, link in bio, or just send me a message. And if you're like, I want some one-on-one time, I have a couple of spots open for 2-week expansive. So in the 2 weeks, it's me and you for inside of Voxer plus 2 90-minute calls. And I had someone say the other month that 2 weeks with me they achieved more and understood more than they did with 18 months with another coach. And so what I teach is effective. What I teach works. It's why my clients get results consistently. And when they message me results, I celebrate them big, but I'm also not surprised because this stuff works. And when you truly understand yourself, you can have the best vision board. You can write in your journal every single day. You can visualization, meditation every single day. You can do the EFT tap. You can do all of that. But if at the root you're not truly believing what's happening and you can't conceptualize in your 3D physical reality, it's always going to feel like this uphill struggle. So any questions around how to work with me, any of these containers, either link in bio, show notes below for my YouTubers, or just send me a DM over on Instagram. We can have a chat. Maybe you're like, I don't know what the best course of action is for me, but I hope that you got something from this and something to make your brain kind of tick as we're coming into a new week, a time of recording, and just to really start to understand yourself differently, because that's what we do here. We understand who we truly are and how we work towards our authentic, most inspired self. Anyway, I'm going to go. Enjoy the rest of your day or your night, wherever you are, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.